When it comes to setting yourself extreme goals in life, the inner adventurer in you might have your sights set on climbing Everest or running an ultramarathon. For those who don't want to break sweat, how about setting yourself a culinary challenge of epic proportions, or should that be portions? London's Clare Smyth named World's 50 Best Restaurants top female chef American foodie Paul Grinberg has done just that. Over the past year he has been living the culinary dream, as he wines and dines his way through the world's 50 best restaurants list, and its extended 51 to 100 list. But it has been no easy task, nor a cheap one, with the 2017 list spanning 30 countries across 6 continents. The Californian financial executive, who leads his company's overseas operations, spends more than 2/3 of the year abroad, meaning he gets to visit far-flung cities with superb dining options on a regular basis. So far he has been able to knock off 99 restaurants from his list, but he's running out of time to get a reservation at the last one on the list, one of Japan's most exclusive sushi restaurants. The 56-year-old's love of fine dining has seen him go to some extreme lengths over the past year. He once flew 12 hours from Johannesburg just to dine at Hong Kong's 8.5 Auto Mezzo Bombana, number 60. He also knocked off 2 restaurants in one night in Adelaide during a brief stopover in the southern Australian city. Over the course of one long weekend in Germany, he ate at 7 Michelin-rated restaurants with a combined 20 stars. Tough life. While he now knows his Scirocco cod sperm from his Ankimo monkfish liver, Grinberg says he hasn't always been a foodie. Until recently he didn't even eat seafood, the idea of raw fish turning his stomach upside down, instead opting for steak or pasta. After a friend convinced him to try salmon sushi, he says, he fell in love. Once he had a handle on seafood, he was introduced to the world of Michelin-starred restaurants, dining at the 3 Michelin-star Le Bernardin, No. 17, in New York. But how did Grinberg go from eating at a Michelin-rated restaurant to embarking on such an expensive global expedition? It was by accident, he says. I was on holidays in Spain and I was looking for a place to eat, and after a quick web search it came up with the world's 50 best, and consequently 2 of the places on the list that were mentioned in the top 10, El Salvador de Can Roca, No. 3, and Asador Berry, number 6, were where I was traveling to, he says. Once I ate there, I had never tasted anything like it. The way they presented the food, the creativity, the molecular gastronomy was eye-opening. Grinberg then started using the list as a guide for where to make reservations as he traveled for work. Before he knew it, he was closing in on the top 50 when the extended list was released, which spurred him on to eat at all 100, all in good taste. The winners of Asia's 50 best restaurants are revealed, as the Gone triumphs again while away on business. He would use his weekends to get away to nearby restaurants he had not yet ticked off, like when he flew 6 hours from his office in Bogotá, Colombia to Santiago just to eat at Rodolfo Guzman's contemporary Chilean restaurant, Virago, No. 42. Another time, instead of flying direct from South Africa to Australia for work, he made a detour via Hong Kong, Seoul, Tokyo and Singapore just to knock off a number of restaurants on the list before arriving in Sydney. Like picking your favorite child, choosing his number 1 dining experience is near impossible. While all 99 restaurants are deserving to be on the list, he says his most memorable experience in Asia was at the reality-bending Ultraviolet by Paul Pear, No. 41, in Shanghai, where 10 guests a night are treated to a 20-course meal that melts and manipulates light, sounds and smells to create a culinary theater like no other. In Latin America his favorite was Central, No. 5, in Lima, where each of the 17-plus courses are based on a different altitude, from 20 meters below sea level to 4,100 meters above, celebrating Peru's biodiversity. In Europe, he can't pass on a meal at dinner by Heston Blumenthal, No. 1996, with his deceiving meat-fruit course, where it looks like a mandarin but is actually chicken liver parfait, while in America, his most whimsical meal was at Chicago's Alinea No. 21. Known for its avant-garde molecular gastronomy, guests are handed a helium-filled apple balloon as part of dessert. It's a very interesting experience because you bite into the balloon and as you inhale the helium, your voice changes and everyone in the restaurant starts sounding like a chipmunk, he says. So how much has this food journey cost Grinberg? He says he would be terrified to quantify just how much money he's spent during his year-long adventure, especially as he always orders the most expensive set meal to ensure he's getting the full experience, but he says his priciest experiences were in France. One time his partner drank a glass of champagne that was offered to them before the meal. That glass alone set Grinberg back a cool €150, $179, but Grinberg has a tip for any globe-trotting foodies. He says the best value for money can be found in Spain. How Bhagwan Anand rose from a poor child of India to become a world-famous chef. Each restaurant on the list will have a different wildly expensive set menu price, reflective not only of the premium produce used on the wine pairing, but of the hundreds of hours it takes to create a dish worthy of being placed on the menu. To put it in perspective, to eat dinner at the No. 1 ranked restaurant on the list, 11 Madison Park in New York, will cost more than $1,000 for two, including drinks, tax and tip. An unexpected highlight of the journey has been the friendships he has made with fellow diners and chefs, who light up when they hear of his adventures. Grinberg says chefs often pull up a chair after service to pore over his printed spreadsheet of the 350 Michelin-rated and added restaurants he has visited. There's many times I have had the list out, and the chefs start going over it with me and comparing notes and asking me if I liked this place or that place, or if I had tried this dish, he says. Sometimes the chef does not speak the same language, but even then they would usually have someone come over to translate. After finishing each lavish meal, he also poses for a photo with the chef, getting them to hold up a colorful printed sign titled Paul's Culinary Adventure, in Comic Sans font, no less, with details of his journey written below. He posts photos of his encounters and exquisite meals on his Instagram account at Restaurant Stodina4 in the hope it will drum up support to get him a reservation at the last restaurant he needs to eat at to complete his mission, Sushi Saito in Tokyo, where it is next to impossible to reserve one of its 8 seats for dinner. Why top sushi chef chose Hong Kong for first overseas branch of one of Japan's best restaurants, ranked No. 97. Sushi Saito is one of the most highly sought-after tickets on the 50 best restaurants list. With an introduction from a previous guest, the only surefire way to secure a reservation at the exclusive venue. Grinberg has exhausted all his corporate contacts trying to get a look in, and even tried being creative. I had a sushi chef that I go to a lot in California contact his fish distributor in Tokyo to try get me a reservation, he says. When that didn't work, he enlisted the help of a group of people who tried continuously cold calling to get a reservation. One of those people actually did get through, but Grinberg was unable to leave a work meeting in India to dine at the sushi bar. Recently, he was also invited to visit the newly opened Sushi Saito in Hong Kong, but after his grandchild was born days before he was due to fly out, he chose family over food. Maybe third time's a charm. But Grinberg will have to be quick. The 2018 list is being released in just over a month's time in Bilbao, Spain. The list is determined by more than 1,000 highly regarded foodies across the globe. Chefs, restaurateurs, gourmands and restaurant critics make up the group, with each voting for their 10 top restaurants for the year. Whether he is able to complete his mammoth challenge by June 19 or not, he's already got his sights set on the 2018 list. Grinberg plans to first dine at any new additions to the list, before setting himself a new mission, eating at all the 3 Michelin star restaurants across the globe. He has already made a good start, having dined at 85 of them.